Hello guys, in this video I would like to share with you 3 challenging questions about nonlinear systems. Before we start, let me just define what is a nonlinear system means. It means a system in which at least one equation is not linear. You know, linear equation, the power of x and the power of y should be 1, like this second equation here. But if we have any equation, at least one, that is not linear, then the whole system is not linear. Like this example with the square, with the power, with the fractions, with the radicals. Now there are some remarks here. We can use substitution method, which will work very fine if one equation is linear. Sometimes both are not linear, so we can use elimination method, and then we can continue by using substitution in the same question. One important thing we have to know, we must check all the proposed solutions in the original system, because some solutions sometimes are rejected. You have to check all the proposed solutions in the original system one by one. Let's start with the question number 1. Solve the nonlinear system. X squared plus xy is equal to 1. Xy plus y squared is equal to 3. Well, you can pause the video for a second or so, and then you can think, please, what can you do? At least sketch or try. What can we do here? We can have y in the first equation. Yes, we can take y is equal 1 minus x squared over x, and we can replace it here. Or I can take x is equal 3 minus y squared over y, replace it up here, there. It will be a longer method. If you try to cancel xy, let's say multiply here with minus, you will not reach because you will have a difficult equation there. I will show you an easy method. X squared plus xy, this is the equation 1. Let's call it equation 1. This one, let's call it equation 2. Let's add directly in this example here. Just add simply both equations. So we get x squared there, xy, we get 2xy, and y squared is there. 1 plus 3 is 4. I can see on the left side here, this is a perfect square. So by factoring, it will be x plus y all squared is equal to 4. Let's take the square root on both sides here. So x plus y is equal to plus or minus 2. So I can split this into 2 equations now. X plus y equals 2, or x plus y equals minus 2. Let's solve for y in each one. So y will be 2 minus the x. I will call this equation 3. Second one, I will take y equals minus 2 minus x. I will call this equation 4. Now let's take one by one. I will take equation 3 and do all the details for you. Then you can do the same for equation 4. Let's substitute equation 3 in equation 1 here. So instead of this y, I will put in the bracket 2 minus x. And we can see on the next slide what will happen. So I replace equation 3 in 1. So this is the system given here. So it will be x squared plus x in the bracket 2 minus x from equation 3 there equals 1. Distribute the x. It will be 2x minus x squared. We cancel here x squared. 2x is equal to 1, so x will be half. Now I need y. So I take this half, x equal half, in equation 3. So I get y equals 2 minus half is equal to 2 times 2, 4 minus 1, 3 over 2. This is the first solution, which is the first point. Half 3 over 2. This is a point of intersection of this system, but we have to check, remember, at the end. You have to check. Now you do the same thing for equation 4. Y will be minus 2 minus x. Replace it in equation 1. You will get x equals minus half. Then to find y, replace x equals minus half in equation 4. So minus 2 plus half, because minus minus becomes plus half. So minus 3 over 2. This is the second solution, which is the second point, minus half minus 3 over 2. So you must check now. Take this x and y in the system in both equations. Take the first point also and check it in the original equation. Now both will work, so we can conclude now the solution set is 1 point, another point. Okay, let's see now question number 2. Question number 2, little more hard, I think. Let's see, solve the nonlinear system. X minus y is equal to 3. X cubed minus y cubed is equal to 117. Take a minute to think. What can we do here? We can take y from the first equation, solve for y, or solve for x, and then substitute in the second, but it will be a little longer because you will have cube, a minus b cubed or a plus b cubed. Now here I said, try to think of the factoring from algebra. There is a nice formula here for factoring this x cubed minus y cubed, this side here of the equation 2. Okay, so I'll remind you in the solution here, I will remind you of the formula. We call it difference of two cubes. Remember always, x cubed minus y cubed is x minus y in the bracket. Another bracket, we have x squared plus xy plus y squared. You can practice on this. You can multiply this right side if you want to remember the formula, and then you will get exactly x cubed minus y cubed. Okay, let's go now. X minus y is equal to 3. Let's factor the second equation. So we have x minus y, x squared plus xy plus y squared is equal to 117. So I will call this equation 1, equation 2. Now, easy, something here we can do very little tricky. X minus y is equal to 3. So I can replace it here. You see that one? So I put 3, big bracket, equals 117. Just divide by 3. So 117 divided by 3, you get 39. So let's call this equation V. X squared plus xy plus y squared is equal to 39. Simple, easy equation. Let's call it V. Now take equation 1, which is easy linear equation, x minus y equal to 3. Solve for y. So take y on the other side, take 3 on the other side, y becomes x minus 3. Let's call it equation W. So you see this simple equation, we will replace it and substitute that in equation V. So substitute W in V. You can practice on this if you like before you see the next slide. You see what will happen. So y will be there, y will be there also squared. So we'll get a little long equation there. So we substitute again W in V. So I will get x squared plus x in the bracket, x minus 3, and then plus x minus 3 all squared equals 39. Now, in this term here, I distribute the x squared minus 3x. This one I expand, x squared minus 6x plus 9, there's the formula, remember? A minus b squared, a squared minus 2ab plus b squared is equal to 39. Rearrange the equation, simplify it, take the same terms here, like terms, squared you add 3, minus 3x minus 6x you add minus 9x. Bring the 39 with the 9 minus 30. Now let's divide by 3 to make it the simplest equation could be. So x squared minus 3x minus 10, now factor it. Okay. Quadratic equation, we factor it x plus 2, x minus 5. So x will be minus 2 or x will be 5. So we found x now. I think you know the story, how to find y. We take the easiest equation. This is x and x. I take w to find y. Now on the next slide, this is w. Y equals x minus 3. I start taking the x minus 2, which I found in the previous slide, and replace it there in the x. So y will be minus 5. See, x minus 2, y minus 5. If x is 5, replace it also in w. 5 minus 3 is equal to 2. So this would be 5 and 2. Now in this example here, I showed you how to check. So I take the first point, minus 2, minus 5, and replace it in each equation of the original system. So I put x minus y. You see, this is x minus y. It's equal to 3. Yes, correct. Also take it in the second one, x cubed minus y cubed. Check this one. Cubes, this is minus 8 minus 125. With the minus becomes plus. Yes, it is correct. And this one also is correct. So we can say the solution set is these 2 points. Sometimes 1 or 2 or all or whatever, they are rejected. So they are not in the solution. All right, let's see question number 3. The big guy here. Solve the nonlinear system. 2 to the power x plus 2 to the power y is equal to 10. 4 to the power x plus 4 to the power y is equal to 68. Any idea? Now in this one, you need to pause the video and think. Take a piece of paper and pen and try to think, sketch, what can we do to find x and y? We cannot take log on both sides because we have 3 terms. Substitute is not easy. Elimination is not easy. Any idea? Okay, I will start showing you the first slide. Just remember some rules of exponents. 4 to the power x. This 4 can be written as 2 squared. See, 2 squared, another power x. So this one, we can write it as 2 to the power 2x. Just from algebra, rules of exponents. 4 to the power y, I can write it as 2 to the power 2y. Now look at the given system here. This is the given. I can rewrite it like this. 4 to the power x. So I can write it 2 to the power 2x. And this 4 to the power y, I will write it 2 to the power 2y. I think you get the idea now. And this one, I have 2 powers here. Second equation, rearrange it. So it will be 2 to the power x all squared. So now we multiply 2 times x. Same thing we do for 2 to the power 2y. It will be 2 to the power y all squared. See what happened now from the given? We can rewrite the whole system before we start. Now I take let. So I change the variable or assume 2 to the power x, all of it, I call it capital A. 2 to the power y, I will call it capital B. So I will change the form of the system. So A plus B in the first one, you see A plus B equals 10. It becomes linear in A and B. And this one, a squared plus b squared is equal to 68. So it will be another system, also nice. So now this is what we got here. Oh boy. A plus b is equal to 10. This is equation 1. A squared plus b squared is equal to 68. This is equation 2. This is also a nonlinear system. See? But easy to do this one. Solve the first equation for b. So I take b will be 10 minus a, so I call it star. You can call it anything here. Usually star is good. You can call it equation 3. You can call it equation w. You can call it equation y. It's up to you. So I'll call it star. So I substitute star, which is b is equal to 10 minus a, in equation 2. So it becomes a squared. Instead of b, I will put 10 minus a squared is equal to 68. Just expand here. See, all this equation has the variable a. So we can find a from here. So you can continue, I think, now, but I will do it all in details. A squared, remember here the formula, a minus b all squared. It will be 100 minus 20a plus a squared is equal to 68. Let's combine like terms. A squared, this is 2a squared minus 20a, bring 68, let's see, minus 68 on the other side, 32. Let's divide by 2. Oh boy, just to make it simple. So a squared minus 10a plus 16. Now we can pause a little here to find a. And then after a, we need to find b. Okay. And then after that, what will happen? Find A, find B, and then you have to go back. Remember, you have to go back. This is the question. You have to go back to X. In the original question, question number 3, there is no A, there is no B. So we need X, we need Y. But we introduced A and B in the question. We find them, then we go back to find X and Y. Now, from the last slide, we see a squared minus 10a plus 16. We can factor this. A minus 2, a minus 8. So a will be 2 or a will be 8. Now this is a. Remember how I put star for you here. Star will be b minus is equal to 10 minus a. So from a equals 2, I can find b. 10 minus 2, so that's 8. If a equals 8, then b will be 10 minus 8, 2. Remember now, a and b, values of x and y are needed, not a and b. We have to find a and b. But what we need is x and y. So if a is equal to 2, I will put here in details. If a is equal to 2, we know what is a. Remember we said let a equals 2 to the power x. 2 to the power x is equal to 2 to the power 1, which is 2. So the same base here, x will be 1. Look at the second one here, little tricky. B equals 8. We know what is b, 2 to the power y, and I can change 8 into 2 cubed. So we call this is exponential equation. Same base, 2 and 2, so y will be 3. So if x is 1, then y will be 3. See, that's 1 point there. That's x and y. Now we do the same thing. Same procedure. If a is equal to 8, implies b is 2. So from this, I can find x equals 3. From this, I can find y is 1. So you must check both solutions in the original system. You have to do it yourself. Then the solution will be 1, 3, 3, 1, 2 points. That's a nice question. Now, usually, I put here practice number 1. This is another nonlinear system. Think of the method. What can you do to find x and y? and then I will put another practice non-linear system here. X squared y is equal 16. X squared plus 4x plus 16 is equal to 0. Now, usually I put the answers, only the answers, after the practice. So you can find answer number 1, answer number 2. And then I would like to thank you for watching. If you like this video, you can subscribe, like, and share. Thank you very much.